quite like the idea of calling it the Rio Dream Bass.
Yeah. Thank you for letting me come down to the inner sanctum here.
Yeah, I'm really excited, I have to say, really excited about this bass that we're doing together. Well, that you're doing actually, and I'm going to play.
It'll be your fingers on our bass and create magic with the two of them.
That's the idea.
The bass you're attracted to is one of our most popular basses, but it's not our most expensive bass. And yet you take it out and you play it in the biggest stadiums and it works. With you in mind, listen to your tone and thought about how you play in your style. And in my mind, I came up with, okay, what are the woods that we're familiar with that are really going to complement that? And we've been using African mahogany bodies recently, and the feedback has just been amazing.
Different to that.
Different
body, because this is made of what?
That one's alder. And so African mahogany would be like alder on steroids. So a similar tone signature, but just more of it, more punch. I think the notes will fly off your fingertips slightly quicker, so it's going to be more responsive. And
I like that.
Yeah. I think it'll really work well with your style. Typically, you're a 4-string player.
Yeah.
The prototype I had made out of made a 5-string, and the reason for that is that 4 strings are relatively easy to get sounding right and working properly. 5 strings are an order of magnitude more difficult, and so I wanted to do the prototype out of in a 5-string version, so that we knew that no matter what, if you ever needed a 5-string, it would perform just as good as the 4.
Let's plug it in. Rio was an inspiration for this.
It was, absolutely.
And when you first came to me with this idea, you talked about EQ.
Yes.
And you talk a little bit about this, because it's quite innovative.
Actually, with this bass, there's use of EQ in two completely separate different ways. The first way is with the multi-scale system. It's pre-EQing the strings so that they don't need as much EQ. So they sound more similar to each other, and it's easier to record with because it's a more focused tone. So that's physically EQing, but then the actual electronic EQ, we're doing something that I've wanted to do for like 30 years, and that is work with Rupert Neve Company.
Right.
And so he built like the first PA system for Queen Elizabeth, the first.
Wow.
He built the consoles that the Beatles recorded all their albums on.
Right.
Neve is just an industry icon.
That we recorded Rio on.
Exactly.
Right.
And so there's this perfect synchronicity between the Neve Company, Rio, and what we do. And so the beauty is that the entire engineering team at Neve, they're all bass players. And so we've talked to them, and they are working on a preamp just for this bass.
That lives in here, doesn't it?
In there, yes.
It lives behind these knobs, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
and these guys nerded out on it, and they got a whole bunch of electronic components, and then they sampled each component and listened and sampled and listened and sampled.
Amazing.
And they came up with something that's extremely musical. And we dialed back how much control you have.
Right.
Dialed it back so that it's a preamp that it doesn't matter how you turn the knobs, it sounds musical.
Yeah. So, just talk me through what these do.
Okay, so there's master volume and then a rotary pickup selector. And we use that instead of the more traditional blend, because what it does is it allows more of the pickup to get through, and it gives you 4 distinct pre-produced, pre-baked in tones.
That brings in a weight.
Yes. I couldn't be
happier that we're doing this. And I'm really looking forward to exploring the Neve technology that's going inside this. And I think it's exciting for people that are interested in a John Taylor signature bass, that we're referencing something from a long time ago that actually, I think anybody that knows about this stuff has never been bettered. Neve's technology has never been, I mean, Nick swears by it. Yeah, well, I'm you know, me, I'm going to be buying the 4-string. But, you know, anybody that wants the 5, here it is.